Welcome back to the British Irish Pro League. It's season 3, it's week 3, and we're following the Div 1 action tonight. It's already been pretty exciting. Bozbez takes his rightful place at the top of the standings. I say rightful, I think it's one of those might makes right. Nobody can wrestle it away from him, and so he just manages to hold on to it, and that seems fair enough to me. Over in Div 2, things are happening as well. Things are exciting. We have finished up with round 4 in that, and the matchup at the top of the table for round 5 will be OC versus Killian. If you do want to watch that match, it is being streamed, of course, over on Padster's channel. So the All-Irish battle, we love to see that, Thomas, don't we?
Yeah, love it. Irish and Irish, top of Div 2 violence. I do just want to point out here, Killian's sort of, I'm going to take 2 fastest laps each week. I'm not going to take any more. I'm not going to take 3. 3 is greedy. You know what I mean? But that does mean he is 2 points off the back of OC. So we'll be on a little bit of the back foot there. But I do think it is just going to come down to a mano-e-mano between the two of them and see who can bring it home. And no, I know she's just not going to mention the thing that everyone watched over the ad break.
That's true. Thomas, who let you cook?
People have been saying let him cook. I'll give them what they wanted.
And you took that personally.
Yeah, that's what it means, right? It doesn't mean
that's fair
else.
enough.
Does it mean anything
Sure,
else?
yeah. No, I don't think so. I think that's about all it means, is literally go into the kitchen, cook the one meal that anyone in this community has ever seen you eat, and just make that for everyone. Show us the process by which you cook. I gotta say, I feel like you could do some more with those sausages. Maybe like a honey mustard glaze on them a little bit.
Well, that goes. I have a pretty simple rule. It's called the one system, where I only do 1 step with each ingredient.
Okay.
So the sausages go in the oven. That's step 1.
Okay.
Of 1. I get them out.
Man who has... I watched add both olive oil and salt to the broccoli, who I watched add sauce to his rice after doing 1 step to it, refuses to do an extra step to make the sausages better. Well, okay. Okay. Fair enough, Thomas. You know what?
No. Will you be cooking? Will you be following those instructions? Cooking it when you get...
no.
Maybe
but
you get back?
Moving on, Thomas, no? Because the answer is always going to be no. Hey, Div 1, also exciting. Okay, everyone can cook. That's true. What, you think? Okay, Thomas, look, here's Div 1. Half the matches in Div 1 played. The other half about to be played for round 4 as well. Meaning our scoreboard does look a little bit wonky at the moment. Bozbez, Hendo and Josh moved to the top after that previous match. A very big match for Josh, picking up that 2nd place. But Akros is sitting in 4th, Thomas, with 0 points in round 4 because he is yet to play it. Could definitely look to leapfrog Josh and possibly even catch back up to Hendo with a win.
Yeah, Akros really looking up ahead here. Sort of the nature of the staggered game weeks is that we do end up in these spots. I do want to give a shout out to Babs, more 3s than Stephen Curry at the moment. Did come into the call earlier and asked us very nicely not to flame him when he didn't realise that he wasn't going to be on either of our or any of our stream games. Which
and here you are flaming him anyway.
It says a lot about Babs' preparation for this week of BIPL. Really needs to pick it up. Hopefully, we'll see a better performance there. But we are heading into the. I don't want to call it the relegation battle because that puts a negative spin on it. Let's say the battle for mid-table.
Call it the relegation battle because that's exactly what it is. Nyaruko, Sox, Floyd, and MattT are all down in that bottom half at the moment. They will be the players in our next matchup. As a reminder to everyone who may be new here or who has not read the rulebook in the last couple of weeks, the bottom 6 players from Division 1 will not be joining us in Div 1 for Season 4. I mean, look, they could still make it through an open qualifier if they manage to claw their way back. It is possible, but they will not have that guaranteed ticket, that guaranteed spot in Division 1 for next season. And right now, that line, it ends right behind Nyaruko. Sox sitting 1 point behind. You need a top 2, I think, in this match, especially in the case of Floyd or Matt, and probably also a couple of fastest laps in order to put yourself up comfortably into a safe zone with a couple of rounds left to play.
Yep, and I think you've just got to, by the way, production, we are in the round. You've got to just look at the top of Div 2 at the moment. You know, we've got OC and Killian. And both of those really should be Div 1 players. If you look at the Magpie stats, they've both been putting in an absolute shift. OC routinely within that top 16 of players across the two divs, but didn't get the secured Div 1 spot through season 2 of BIPL, and I don't want to say he had a bad seeding because OC did pretty good. Don't let him know I said that. But wasn't able to bring it home and wasn't able to make it all happen in seeding, and that's when you are left here. But this ain't Div 2, homie. This is Div 1 all the way, and I'm not saying this is a bad omen, but there's been a lot of crashes early. Nyaruko is still going for that outside dirt line, which we haven't really seen today. All four in the previous match didn't really go for it. But at 57-7, it's not going to bring the house down. But it is good. Production's telling me inside is quicker, and I trust production because we're not that good at this game now.
Well, speak for yourself, Thomas. I haven't embarrassed myself in a group in a Discord call recently, so I'm feeling okay. I will also point out that our last match also started off with a lot of crashes on Creel, so I don't write these players off. They are still here in the top 16 for a reason. I still expect it to be close, given how close everyone is in the standings at the moment as well. And none of these players have won a match yet, so somebody's about to win a match for the first time in the season 3 of BIPL.
Yeah, and you do say that you didn't embarrass yourself in a Discord call recently, but what time did you turn up, Noah?
Hey, listen, nobody saw that. So, well, it was a little bit late, arguably, but it's fine. I was looking after the pet, so don't worry about it.
Yep, Noah does not have that dog in him, but he has got that dog sort of adjacent in another room. We are now on board MattT, peeling off into the distance. We're seeing a little bit of... Oh, hello, Socks. Nice of you to join the party. There we go. That was terrifying. That was like a Star Wars scene where they sort of come in from warp.
Interesting reference. Socks is very close to Nyaruko, but it will... Oh, Socks does snipe at the line by 0.003 of a second. And unfortunately for Socks, if he wants to go back and get the clip, it starts with Thomas bringing up Star Wars.
I think that whole clip is the bit you want to show, right? the spawn in just out of nowhere and then get the snipe at the end.
Yeah, it was sick. Honestly, it was a great round from Socks and a great fight back to take a second place. Sitting on 89 points, currently third in the lobby, but early on here on Creel, still anyone's game. MattT does currently sit on the fastest lap record, but I think probably available to anyone at the moment. That could be improved on. Of course, as I've been made aware, we only count the fastest lap on our first run through each map at this point. So we are starting to run out of time for people to try and snipe that. And it won't be Nyaruko on this round. MattT off again to a very quick start on the round, but Socks is close behind. We've seen how strong Socks is in the back half of the map already.
Yeah, this Floyd skin is sick, by the way. I know it's Molotov, but it kind of also looks like a dragon. And he's Welsh. So, thank you very much, production. Right, so we are seeing Socks and MattT. Are we just going to call him Matt? If there's only one Matt in the game, only Matt. There we go, Socks and Matt going in for the line. And this might be a little bit close. No, Matt just going a little bit wide. And Nyaruko here trying to bring it home. One of the more interesting members of BITM comes first or fourth, basically, is Nyaruko's situation. And also not at all how you're meant to pronounce his name. Don't know if you're aware of this.
You hit me with it, Thomas.
I can't remember. Yeah, it's like... I can't remember. It's an anime character, and you don't pronounce the O.
Okay, well, if you want me to start saying Naruto, I will. But until then...
Still a no in it, Noah. Still a no.
Okay, Nyaruk. Okay.
I think that's it, basically. I think that's it.
Yeah, okay. Nyaruk is what we go with.
No, I don't like it. Nyaruko there, up ahead.
Continue, Thomas. What were you saying?
Nyaruko up ahead, fighting it out with Socks. Socks, one of the, I guess, the cutest item of clothing you could be named after. Answers on the postcard there if you think there are any others. No?
Thomas, excuse me?
Like, if you were to be named after an item of clothing, I think you might call a cat Socks. You know what I mean? That's if they've got, like, cute little furry socks. They look like they're wearing socks. No?
I understand where you're coming from at
Look,
this
Noah,
point.
if I was like, hello, Noah, lovely to see you in person. This is my dog, Collar. That's a good name, actually, to be fair.
It's a great name for a
this
dog.
This is my dog,
yeah.
Hooded sweatshirt. It's not going to go down.
Nobody says hooded sweatshirt in conversation, though. That's a description of clothing you only use when you are shopping online.
An SEO term, if you will.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay, Thomas, look. Oh, a lot of gifted subs. Thank you, Euronymous, in chat. And of course, anyone who does subscribe to the channel, all of that money goes back into BITM, hosting events and making sure that things are fun, that we can do things here on the channel and continue to support the community in that way. So thank you very much, Euronymous, for the gifted subs. And I think also I saw a couple of Doc, I think, resubbed earlier in the evening as well. I meant to call that out, but I think Thomas was probably saying something inane and I got distracted.
Yep, you can spell fun without funds, but you get most of the way there, and that's what the Twitch channel does. It helps us pay for some things, and it's all very good, and it's nice as well. It's a nice thing for us to take to potential sponsors when we're trying to plan events. So thank you everyone who does sub, particularly those who gift subs, really above and beyond. We do really appreciate that.
But anyway, that nearly managed to distract us from the fact that Thomas thinks that socks are the cutest item of clothing, which...
To be named after, for your username?
Well,
yeah, I'll down that. Come at me. Come on, name a better one. Go on, there.
No, I think it was... The way you said it was just socks are the cutest item of clothing. And then there was a beat for a little bit. Socks are the cutest item of clothing, Thomas?
Yeah.
You don't...
What?
All right.
Cute socks. No, because cuteness... also inversely proportional to sexiness. You know what I mean?
Oh, defensible. Now. Okay, sure. Now you're getting into some wild theories, Thomas. Now you're starting to build a hill that you could really die on.
Yeah, and I'm not Quentin Tarantino, so I don't see socks as both. Anyway, we are in now to our second map. We are looking forward to see what happens here. In terms of our points, we have one chap on 89. We have two in the 70s. No, we don't. We have two in the 80s. We have one in the 70s. And Floyd currently really struggling. Did not seem keen to be in the stream. Thought he'd duped it for the whole of BIPL. Season 3, but nope, Floyd, you're getting on mainstream, and not only that, you're getting on mainstream twice for the Welsh civil war that we've got going on later. But Nyaruko and Socks up ahead, doing as they are ought to do. But currently, MattT is the one, albeit currently in fourth, holding first in this match, which is a testament to the consistency prior to this current map. But it's all sort of a little bit procedural at the moment. It doesn't really look like anyone's going to make this time up in the ending. That was close.
Socks. Yeah, Socks very nearly crashed that end. Nearly didn't have the speed to make the final ramp, but did. And so survives, picks up second place, just behind a player that I am going to call Nyaruko, whether or not Thomas disagrees with me, because that's what he told me to do. MattT comes home in fourth place in this round, dropping the full 10 points, but it is Floyd who is really struggling at the moment.
Why does Socks hate the safe bit on this one?
I don't know, Thomas.
Because wet socks. Getting your socks wet.
Yeah,
okay. You go. Thank you. You sort of gave me the opportunity there, and then you took it away from me.
No, I did. I realized how bad the direction was that we're going, because there's already water earlier in the map, Thomas. So it doesn't make any sense. The socks are already wet.
Yeah, but you're sort of running it out.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. I guess maybe that makes sense. I don't think so, but benefit of the doubt. Speaking of water, here it is, as everyone's names will disappear, but they're there again. The same players exit the water as entered, and in the same order. Floyd has gained, though. Nyaruko is holding on to first place at the moment. Socks just in second, but pushing, clips the inside, hitting the checkpoint, will drop to fourth. Floyd pushing on Nyaruko as well. Matt will just about survive, managing to fend off Socks then for a while longer, but Floyd is drifting away from the lead as Nyaruko looks to lock up 2 rounds in a row. Just needs a clean finish here. Has built the gap. Will find a clean finish. And Floyd, this time taking second, will not be able to make any kind of dent into the lead that Nyaruko is starting to build.
Yep, I'm waiting to see those points update, Noah. Let's see where we're at. We're getting pretty close here, really. A lot of people battling out in the 70s. And so it'll be interesting to see how this continues as we go through. Currently sat off fastest lap by Nyaruko with a 1:1:1:62. Yeah, production's now giving us crap for how we're pronouncing this name. I will continue.
No, giving you grief, Thomas, specifically.
No, he specifically said we, not you. So.
That's fair. I think it was the royal we that included just you.
That's yeah. I don't know. You know, English often people say is an easy language, but I don't know the tenses that include royal we brackets.
Oh, Floyd, where are you going, brother?
Floyd.
he is off the track, and he is back on track, moving slow. MattT to overtake. Nyaruko is a long way down, though, and will not be moving up to take advantage of that after 2 good rounds. Here's a poor one. Sox way out in the lead as Matt is trying to chase down, but it'd take a mistake from Sox. We've seen mistakes at this finish line before, but here on Gone, I'm not convinced that anyone can catch up to Sox in this round.
Yeah, saw a lot of mistakes actually in warm-up when they were getting ready on this map and another one. But seemingly once the pressure mounts and the tension builds, they're able to bring it home. But we are seeing there. Clip it, everyone in the chat. You see him? Clip it, whatever he did, clip it. No, but we are seeing it get very close now here. All the 3 points, 4 points, 3 points even, separating now MattT, Sox, and Nyaruko. Floyd here on 45. Has not had rounds on this map, but is sort of up against the sort of win and lose inconsistency of the other few. But will find himself at the rear of the field unless there is more to come from it. Like we mentioned earlier, a 101.162 is what they are all after for that fastest lap point, and we will see if any of them will be able to bring it home. This is going to be pretty important. This sort of the points you can score in this mid-table match for your survival in Div 1, so we will see if they are able to bring it home. But as it stands, there's just 2 tenths separating the top 3, and all is still to play for. And with the points as they are, this is going to be a pretty important round.
Yeah, and it's close all the way around the final few corners. Matt is only just behind Nyaruko, and Sox is definitely in the conversation as well if a mistake comes through. But as things stand, I think Nyaruko looks to have locked it up. Heading towards the finish line, just needs to nail the final jump, plays it relatively safe, goes center, does manage to set the new record. Was that the mind? No, it was not. It was a little bit off the record. And so it will be Nyaruko sitting in first in the round. Matt takes second, and Sox with a third.
Yeah, Floyd there, the Molotov skin being extinguished with the water. But that will be the end of Gone. We will be saying farewell to that for the time being. We'll be coming back, assuming everything doesn't go absolutely haywire from here on out. And we will be moving on to our next map, which, as I tab in the game, is Nina, which, by the way, one of the funniest things, getting Mime to give me a translation or a pronunciation guide on Discord in week 1, which was just him spelling the name again, which was quite incredible.
That was when we were still in the middle of litigating which country the accent was from, in that case, I think, because, you know, depending on which country you use the accent from, that starts to change pronunciations, because it turns out accents mean different things in different languages, Thomas. But then Mime just said, no, it's just like Nina. Which, yeah, fair enough. Makes a lot of sense. We will see how things go then once we get down onto Nina. It is currently a fastest lap for Nyaruko on Gone. Fastest lap for Sox on Creel. And I think you're kind of waiting to see Floyd and Matt, can they get back into it a little bit? Are we going to see one player wrap up 2 of the fastest laps?
Yeah, I mean, you know, Floyd was 13th going into this round, albeit is sort of half a round behind everyone. So who knows? Maybe should be a little bit higher up. But you know, you do expect these guys to be taking times off each other and to be fighting for that fastest lap. So we will see how that pans out. And yeah, looking forward to seeing. We do need to see more out of Floyd in this round, or at least in this map, because we are seeing everyone within the 60s. Matt and Sox actually tied on 64 at the moment, and then Floyd's down in 35. So we'll need to turn it around pretty gosh darn quickly. Otherwise, we'll be staring down the barrel of some red numbers on the back of that red car and an early exit, which we obviously don't want to see, particularly as this is the first of 2 games. And
he's gone. Matt found a wall.
Yep. Really went looking for it, to be fair.
Yeah, it took a while to get it as struggles for a couple of players down through the middle section of the track, but Nyaruko and Sox have just about managed to hold on to each other in this one. Nyaruko going higher, Sox lands quicker, and so the slightly the Nyaruko was starting to build there vanishes in an instant as Sox pulls a couple of car lengths ahead.
Yeah, I feel like we've just seen Nyaruko and Sox fight for first and second this whole match. Yet somehow MattT is still on the same points. Like, what's going on? You know what I mean?
Consistency. genuinely, I think, is the answer to you there. Is Matt has just been managing to not crash an awful lot. Nyaruko went close there. Sox has more speed on the exit, though, and will pick up the round win. Floyd comes home in third. And, I mean, look, we were saying at the end there that Matt, you know, being consistent, has picked up the points where others have faltered. But I think the writing was on the wall from early on in that round. A big crash leads to Matt losing the full 10, drifting away from first and second a little bit.
I'm shocked that after that start, he was only a second and a half off them.
Yeah, honestly, you're not wrong. I do think some of that comes down to, as you can see in chat there, Nyaruko and Sox both struggling with the gear on the uphill dirt in the middle of the track. They definitely lost a little bit of speed, but Floyd has made a pretty big mistake at the start there as well. This time around, it will be Floyd looking to battle back, and with 28 points in the bank, Floyd can't really be affording frivolous spending like that, Thomas. Cannot afford to be throwing points to the wind.
Yep, it may have been budget day yesterday for the UK, but it needs to be budget day for Floyd. He needs to stem the bleeding, bring down the deficit, and cut national insurance by 2p. No,
well, you
so we
really
are seeing Sox and
sound
Matt at the front.
like you know finance, Thomas.
Yeah, you know me. Love numbers. So we are seeing the top three that we expect to be battling out up ahead. One of our first times that we've seen all three of them sort of together, which is a testament to how this match has been going. But we are seeing Matt and Sox now running into the end. Nyaruko with an issue will actually lose this round now to Floyd's, so will come home losing -10, which is going to put him tied again with Matt, with Sox ever so slightly above them, keeping an eye on them.
Yeah, Floyd got bailed out there. Absolutely. And I think, look, that's one of those rounds where Matt pulls off into the distance, manages to beat out Sox just about. And that's partly why Matt is managing to hold on to the lead at the moment. In close rounds, Matt has been, I think, edging out the points more often than not by just about getting in front. That was awkward for Nyaruko, who is now in 4th place, but not a major error like we've seen at the start from different players in the last 2 rounds. Nyaruko still very much in the conversation, and great speed on the uphill as well, managing to get back within touching distance.
Yeah, how do you feel about all the flags all over the place, Noah? Feels like a recent Trapmania edition.
What, like in the background of the track?
No, they have a load of flags on the corners. Have you not noticed? Look, the flag there.
Sure, yeah. Yeah.
Players love flags.
Players love flags when they're placed awkwardly to disrupt lines, is what I've heard.
No, it's to tell them where the track is.
Well, they still love it when they disrupt lines.
But no, we are seeing a bit more consistency now out of our top 3 as they are bedded into this game. Fastest lap currently sat with MattT with a 10.848. It's human, it's mortal, it can be taken. It's a real dash to the end here between Nyaruko and Sox. That map record, is that 0.2 off?
2 thousandths off, I think you'll find.
Oh, geez. Yeah, sorry, very close there. But Nyaruko coming home ahead of Sox there, and these boys are just trading paint back and forth. Nyaruko now on 51 points, Sox on 53, and MattT on 54. But Floyd's now is not quite in the danger zone. No, one of the other things we do. But he is pretty gosh darn close, with 11 points now, 1 DNF away, 2 bad rounds away from being in last chance. And with the way this map has been going in particular, I can't see that inevitability getting stalled out anytime soon. That being said, they are falling off around him, giving him every single opportunity to stall this round for another, and we'll see if he is able to bring it down in the 1v1 with Nyaruko. He goes nice and low, Nyaruko going a little bit higher, so Floyd has made that time up there. I do like the skill expression that turn allows, and we will see if they're able to keep it nice and tight in this final section. Nyaruko looked like he touched, but looks all A-okay as they come into the dirt here and head over the hole of doom. There you go, no worries there for both of them, but we will see if they're able to bring it home, and if Floyd is able to stem the bleeding.
Yeah, he's very close to the outside there, but that lets him set up wide. He might have a little bit more speed, but Nyaruko has managed to just hold on the inside line. Picks up a round win, doesn't pick up a fastest lap. Floyd does lose 4 points as well. Gets ever so closer to that danger zone, to the elimination spots. Matt and Sox, 3rd and 4th in that round, will be falling a little bit away from Nyaruko as well, who now holds an uncontested 1st place, by which I mean it is very much contested, Thomas. This match does feel a little bit like 3+1. It's anyone's game but Floyd's. Floyd needs to win a lot of rounds in a row.
Yep, and as we lose or go through that first round of maps, 1 match record each of the top 3. So they decided to divvy it out. You know what I mean? Sharing's caring. They've all taken one for themselves, and Floyd's is also here. And it's going to be interesting to see, now that the pressure of the fastest lap is off their shoulders, worth considering, will we see a bit more consistency out of any of them? Because it does feel like if you are just able to drive it within the lines, keep it in track, if you will, that you should be able to bring home the victory here.
Are we just trying to slipping project names in there? The problem is mini RPG of the week significantly harder to slip casually into the broadcast than keeping track is, Thomas. So you've got an advantage on me there, I'll admit.
Well, that's branding. You know what I mean? One might even say it's even harder to say mini RPG of the week Ultimate Edition in France.
That's true. Very difficult to mention the land that's going to be happening in France in a little while that I'm now advertising on a BIPL stream. I don't know if that's kosher, but hey, we've done it now. And so yeah, go look up the information for that if you're interested. But back to the action where Floyd, I think the problem is, you're saying maybe the pressure off for the other players a little bit. They don't need to push for the fastest laps as much. And I think the issue is Floyd still needs to push. Does not have any other option at this point. Is 1/3 place away from last chance. And the other three are all so far out of touch that he needs kind of multiple rounds from each of them where they mess up in order to bring them back within reach.
Yeah, one of the most sort of disrupting things you can really have in a reverse cut mode is being 47 points down on the battle up ahead. Ultimately, it is reverse cut mode. As long as he doesn't lose, he's winning. Yeah. Once he's in last chance, you have an infinite pool of points when you're in last chance. But has found himself at the back. I guess he gets a free round. He's going to be last chance sooner rather than later, so he does get a free round that he can throw. But obviously not where you want to be, and we may be saying good farewell to Floyd's a little bit sooner than we would hope. But the battle up ahead is still staying nice and hot. I said I gave MattT a little bit of shit earlier for never really being in the battle, but this is very, very close as it comes to the end, and it's 3/10. It's 300s.
Yeah, 300. Matt, if he'd been a little bit more right, if the line was closer, then Matt potentially does snipe that round away. Unable to do so, Nyaruko does hold on to those 0-point loss. Starting to pull again a little bit further away. We're starting to see separation between our top three. We also saw Floyd DNF the round, now on last chance, and has immediately DNF'd again. Has decided that there is not much hope left in the match. And so this is a round where, for the final time, this points differential, the repartition will remain for 4 players, but it is already a 3-horse race.
Yep, I've heard rumors that Floyd just loves the mainstream, so has decided to take a seat early and watch it all out with me, you, and our many friends. Nyaruko here having a bit of a struggle. One of those parts of the map that really cascade in on you. As soon as you have a bad line in one, they sort of escalate and escalate until you're sort of taking practically 90-degree corners in order to try and keep it on the track. But we are seeing Sox and Matt not really expanding on this lead here. So Nyaruko still going for that outside dirt line, like we said, not really in vogue, not in fashion anymore. Everyone sort of went to that inside. But as we come through to the end, I think MattT's probably got this all locked up. Yes, he has. And we are seeing a little bit more of an equalizer. Nyaruko did have some points in the pocket, but will now be lining up next to MattT with a very similar point total. And Sox, a little bit of daylight brewing here, but is only a couple of good rounds away from coming back into this battle for first place.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, the points repartition does change now that we're down to 3 players. No more -10s available at the bottom. So it is going to be a little bit harder to claw any kind of gap back as well. But it does mean that everyone now losing points in every round at the same time. So still anyone's game between these 3. And still, as mentioned at the top of this match, elimination very much on the line. The bottom 6 players from Division 1 of BIPL Season 3 will be relegated for Season 4. And all these players hovering around that line at the moment. They are looking for a big match. They are looking for a big win. And one of them's going to be winning their first match, Thomas. At the moment, Nyaruko maybe was looking like the favorite, but all it takes is a couple of bad rounds and maybe a mistake like the one we've just seen, and things start to slip out of control very, very quickly.
Yeah, a little bit of an error there from here we go, Nyaruko. I'm just going back to Nyaruko. A little bit of an error there, and it really has allowed Sox to come back in, but they are coming down to one. Sox hits the wall.
Oh, no. Oh.
Matt apparently also clipped Sox. Yeah. They're struggling for traction, maybe because they're not wearing shoes, and hitting the inside of the wall. And that has really sort of bailed out Nyaruko there, kept him within touching distance of MattT, and has really punished Sox, who is now on 23 points.
Yeah. And I mean, the clip from Matt obviously didn't end up being impactful, but very nearly allowed, I believe you said it was Nyaruko at some point in the middle of that round, Thomas?
No, we
to
don't,
snipe
we don't dwell
first
on
place.
mistakes, no, we don't dwell on mistakes. We move.
Yeah, Nyaruko is in first. We saw a mistake around this part of the track earlier on in the previous round for Nyaruko, but still managed to pick up second place. Looking to stay safe, doesn't. Will hit the checkpoint 2 times. Once wasn't enough, and I believe touches a wall on the way through there as well. So the gap continues to spiral as Sox holds the lead. Will look to make it cleanly to the finish this time around, but it may be in overthinking what's going to happen at the end. Is slowing down a little bit in the middle of the track there. Matt back in the conversation, looking quick here as we head through the dirt. Sox finds an earlier place to bonk. It's Matt through cleanly. Daylight behind. Nyaruko still even further away. And Matt, just don't crash the end. Just don't crash the end. Will not crash the end. Sox won't this time either. Goes very safely through the gap. Nyaruko takes a third. And that'll help Sox out. It'll most definitely help Matt out.
Yeah, as we were saying going into this map, with the pressure of the fastest lap taken away from these, it was all going to come down to how they have reacted. And MattT has reacted well. 4 decent rounds there. Doesn't have to be perfect. This isn't a battle for the top of the table. But with issues for both Nyaruko and Sox, has now got stretched himself to a pretty sizable lead. I mean, 10 points over Nyaruko, 21 points over Sox. That is about as much of a buffer as you can really ask for, particularly with how close they were a mere map ago. But we will now be heading in to our map Gone again. It's coming back. Don't call it a comeback, and we will see how these players do again now that those fastest lap pressure is off their shoulders.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely the map that Nyaruko looked the best on last time around. I mean, walked away with the fastest lap point, but in general was setting some very solid times. There was one full crash round, but other than that, I think well, it's 61.158, 61.162, and 61.164 was pretty incredible consistency for Nyaruko when we visited Gone the first time around. So would be a great time to show that again, especially given that those 3 times are better than any individual time that any of the other players managed to put up. So I'm expecting big things from Nyaruko here in this 1v1v1 that we have remaining.
Yeah, has got a little bit of a buffer still, so should be able to use that up well, and we'll be looking to draw MattT in. But that being said, as long as MattT's coming second, isn't going to have that much of a problem. That is the benefit of building up that buffer on the other map that we've just left. But we will be heading in almost certainly very soon to this final rotation as the players are refusing to finish the round, so warm-up will be stalled. That's lovely. I'm not sure they're aware how long we're going to be sat here waiting. Please, for the love of God, DNF will finish the round. Otherwise, me and Neil are going to be sat here forever, and weird things happen when we keep chatting.
Yeah, my dog might die. Has anyone informed the players that a dog's life is on the line if they stall this match out for too long?
No, it's not going to do anything to the dog. I just want to make it very clear. It's going to be through neglect, not through malice. Our species, whichever one. Yeah. Let it be. Please, for the love of God, Sox, I don't think you realise the stakes. Sox is a cute dog name too, not just a cute cat name.
Yeah, sure.
What's your beloved pet called that we all love and that you all often talk about how much you love this pet?
Her name is Miga. She's
Miga, like
Miga, M-I-G-A. It means crumb in Spanish.
It also means not good in English.
M-I-G-A means not good in English?
M-E-A-G-E-R. Miga.
Oh yeah, Miga. Come on, just because your accent butchers Spanish pronunciations doesn't mean that you can take this away from me, Thomas.
Me no hablo español, homie. We are now heading in
la biblioteca.
Yep. We hype Nyaruko coming up into this final, or into this series of rounds in Gone, and he is doing everything he can to find every wall, every crack, every surface that isn't the road in this opening round, but does have at least a couple more rounds in the bank before it starts to become a concern. But Sox has reacted pretty well to this section, but MattT has not, and Nyaruko has actually skipped ahead, so now we're seeing Sox now with a free run home.
I'm annoyed, Thomas. I was going to say I bet Nyaruko finishes second still, and then the crash came through before I could get it out. But
Oh, really?
there you go.
Oh, you were going to do
Nyaruko does still finish second. And so I'm going to take credit for it anyway. Matt does still need to get across the line. Nearly missed left, but does get across the line. I was going to do it, Thomas.
At pub quizzes, when they give you the answer, do you go, oh, that was the other one I was thinking?
Thomas, okay, listen, you can't get into this. I did a pub quiz on Tuesday. One of the rounds, the theme for the round was Taylor Swift or Bible verse. You had to, decide whether it was a Taylor Swift lyric or a Bible verse.
Yeah.
And we got 7 out of 10 points on that round. We had a run of answers from questions 7 to 9 that I was convinced were backwards, but got shouted down by the table. Those were the ones that we lost, Thomas. And if we'd gotten those 3 extra points, Thomas, we would have come 4th instead of 6th.
I mean,
Thomas, I didn't spend 6 years in Catholic school to be shouted down over a Taylor Swift versus Bible verse pub quiz round. Also, that was a crash.
Guys, it's very clear. At no point did the Lord said upon thee, the hay is going to hate, and I'm just going to shake. But MattT and Sox are going to battle it out in this round here. Nyaruko having another issue, really struggling on this map after all we've hyped them up. Sox now looking to make a move on the wood and has done an incredible job there, but MattT being able to find some time. These two are absolutely inseparable. Nyaruko watching from the background, like maybe he's watching Confession. There we go, tie it back, and it's a sprint to the line. Sox a little bit too left, and MattT clips in Nyaruko. Oh, I thought that was a draw, but no, Nyaruko going for the safe fin.
Oh, that was close. That was close. Matt does just about get across the line. It was close right up until it wasn't. I thought Matt had it. Pushed the outside dirt so hard. I thought he had the speed coming up to the end. But with the clip, does end up settling for second place. 14 points for Nyaruko. 13 points for Sox. And Matt, the big winner over the last couple of maps so far, sits just 10 points clear. So feeling okay about how things are going. This could be a triple last chance situation yet, but either way, it's definitely going to come down to, I think, the next map to really decide things.
Yep, and I am very distracted trying to think of Taylor Swift lyrics that we can use in cast, and so far not coming up very well. There's a lot about cars, to be fair.
Sure. There's also a lot that could be Bible verses, as it turns out.
Still not over it, everyone. Those of you at home, he's clearly still not happy there. But we are seeing more performance coming out of Nyaruko in this version of in Nyaruko's version, should we say, of this round. Have yet to have a clip and is currently leading the way, looking to stretch his legs a little bit. Is in desperate need of a good round here, otherwise will be falling into the placeholder third place. MattT there having an issue. Nyaruko and Sox are dashed to the line. MattT not quite making the fin, but should have plenty of time to take the risky. Here we go. I did enjoy the matches in previous weeks where players hadn't practiced the fin enough and just sent it over the top of the safe. Always love to see it.
Yeah, that does always it's always fun. Seeing players make mistakes. There's a level of sadism, I think, being a caster that people don't talk about enough. You got to be able to enjoy the funny moments as well, even recognizing the heartbreak in some of those funny moments.
Yeah, I am grateful that, this is a world tour, because sometimes I do feel like, you see something funny, you go for it, even if someone's, just lost the chance to compete on land. But a bonk's a bonk, and a bonk is funny. So Sox bringing up the rear here is in need of some good rounds. Has had a pretty decent showing on this map, and even the last map too. But we are seeing MattT there deciding to drive up into the edge. So Sox there taking a position away. MattT did have a much better buffer coming into this map, but has struggled at times, and is now looking at the potential for being in third place as opposed to second place as opposed to first. And we are seeing Sox and Nyaruko with fairly decent endings so far. Nothing too much to be concerned about, but none of them have been perfect when it comes to the ending, so we will see if they can still bring it home. I think maybe Sox is a little bit too slow. Nope, gets the ending all a-okay. MattT brings it home, very nice and close, but it's getting close to the bomb.
Yep, Nyaruko is in a great position after that round. I want to make it clear, because that is Nyaruko on 10 points. What is the maximum amount of points that any player can lose with the current points repartition, Thomas?
12 if they DNF.
Yeah, but he's not going to DNF. 9 if you finish the round in third place, meaning 10 points mean you have that little bit of a buffer. It is a very comfortable place to be for Nyaruko, with both of his opponents sitting well within the danger zone of dropping to last chance in the next round. 1 point and 6 points for the two of them, meaning that anything other than first place will immediately send either of them to the danger zone. And in fact, in Sock's place, it's a guaranteed danger zone next round, no matter what happens.
Yeah, I mean, oftentimes in reverse cup mode, we'll talk about like, well, you know, this round's a dud. You know, you're going to be in last chance no matter what. You know.
Yeah.
But actually, Socks still needs
still
to do
wants
well.
to win.
He can drag some down with him.
Still really want to win.
Yeah, so you can drag some people down with you with a good round. So it'll be interesting to see how this pans out. I do like the fact that this time last match we were stalling for time trying to figure out when we were going to throw to break. But BIPL, when people get down in the dirt, you know, when we're proper scrapping it out with the potential for triple last chance, don't raise your eyebrows at me, Noah. What are you?
Getting down in the dirt, eh?
Can you do one eyebrow?
No, absolutely not. I think I can do it by accident when I'm not thinking about it and someone says something genuinely concerning. One eyebrow will go, but on purpose, not so much.
Okay. Well, I'll try and say something concerning and then just stare directly at your webcam feed that I have here on my computer. Nothing to do with production. I just always have your webcam feed here.
One eyebrow went there. You said something concerning and one eyebrow immediately just popped.
Right, anyway, what could be the final map of this match, we will see as the players go through. I'm sure someone smart will tell me the odds of it being the final map, but didn't ask. So we are now seeing Socks, like we mentioned, does need a good round. While he will be in last chance, no matter what happens, he can drag a couple more people with him. And with a particularly good round, there you go, Nyaruko, throwing it back. Not necessarily, though, what you want to see. Socks' focus really is in beating MattT here and trying to drag MattT down with him. But with 2 good rounds, we will see everyone in last chance from Socks.
Yeah, I mean, Nyaruko in third place is pretty spicy no matter what happens here, as Matt will be incredibly close either way to last chance, whether he or Socks ends up winning this round. So whatever happens, whatever the standings are at the finish line here, things are about to get very wild. I actually don't think there is a way that we make it out of this map, Thomas. I think this is it with the point totals that we currently have. And Socks has held the lead from MattT, which means, even though it's by the slimmest of margins, we do have 2 players on last chance. We have 1 player on 1 point. Nyaruko is guaranteed last chance in the next round. Another big mistake for Nyaruko would have us on triple last chance.
Yep, and it's a shame that Nyaruko didn't get that random DNF. Otherwise, we'd be into out of nowhere triple last chance. But like you mentioned, Socks and Matt, these 2 guys now, their primary focus can only be backwards. It can't be forwards. They just need to not finish third, and they will stall out the rest of the game. Nyaruko here needs to be ruthless, needs to at least finish first or second to take one of these guys out, because he's only going to have 1 shot with last chance. Before getting last chance, sorry, and then when his number will start to spread.
No!
He's clipped. Is it happening?
Uh-oh. I think Nyaruko's about to go first to third place, because 2 rounds in a row with the big mistake. You're not feeling in form. You're not feeling great about dropping to last chance. And Socks and Matt, they are looking comfortable out on track as well. They are cruising to first and second place. Close rounds between them. Socks won out last time around. Matt looking to win out this time around. But the only story that matters in this round is Nyaruko 2 seconds down.
Yep, and both of them now can pretty much safe their way in. Looks like they've got enough speed.
Oh, Socks.
Too many problems, but no, Love's a big fan of that outside line. Nyaruko there going for the safe in. And we are set up for a last chance. Triple last chance. We're going to lose someone this round. We're going to lose someone next round. Who it is all comes down to this. They've had 100 points each. They've had so much health here. You know what I mean? They've had plenty of rounds. Surely it's not going to come down to a triple last chance. Oh, wait, no, it is. So we will see how this is going around. Nyaruko is not the one to be looking for here in terms of performance, because has struggled a lot on this map. Maybe has just got some of the jitters out of the way nice and early and will bring home the match with some consistency. Is looking a little bit better, but at this point, I think clipped on the inside here in the previous round and has made it nice and well. But Socks has drawn first blood in this round and is currently up ahead of the other 2.
Yeah, I mean, some tentativeness there from Nyaruko. I mean, as you pointed out, rightly, the part where he clipped in previous rounds and all of a sudden drove very safely through it. The issue being making sure he survived has actually cost him a little bit of time. Now, a little ways down from Matt. Sox with a couple of car lengths of a lead, but Matt and Nyaruko are near wheel to wheel. The nose just in front for Matt at the moment. Nyaruko, though, charging back through the uphill dirt at the moment, managing to hold on to second place. Down onto the sausage block. Matt needs a fantastic end. Sets up wide, but I think has lost the speed. I think that's it. Matt to end in third place and will bounce off the finish line, rejected at the finish.
Yep, saving us all as well with the DNF, but that was a very close battle. MattT at one point was looking very comfortable in this game, and Sox has been able to chip away at, I think at one point was a 21-point lead, and he's himself got a straight-up 1v1. Cards are on the table, face up, no more bluffing, no more holding anything to your chest. I think that's a Saber reference. Hopefully you're still in chat, Saber. And we will see if they are able to bring it home, because this would be a tremendous comeback from Sox. But Nyaruko, if there's ever anyone who might pull out a really good round, it is Nyaruko. But if you clip the inside, that's going to be a little bit more tricky.
I mean, once again, through that section, Nyaruko just drove so safely, was so desperately trying to avoid the clip that he may have just thrown the round away anyway. Lost a gear, is down by nearly a second, and I think Sox has done it. This is huge for both Sox and Nyaruko. To be fair now, they finish first and second in the match, and that, I believe, will probably be enough to secure both of them their spot in BIPL Season 4 Division 1. They're at least in very, very good position to do so. But Sox in particular has had a fantastic match. The fight back when things looked dire, when we were down to 3 players and Sox hit last chance first, finishes the match in first place with one fastest lap point. Nyaruko will finish in second, one fastest lap point as well. Backflip towards the line. Might DNF for the fun of it. No, we'll get across the line one more time. And that is it for round 4 of Division 1 of Season 3 of BIPL. Sox picks up a win and 13 points along with it.
Yeah, obviously, like we mentioned, first win of the tournament for any of these players, but for the Sox in particular, has previously been third place in all of their matches. So a good showing there. And
just Thomas, I'll tell you, I'm looking at the leaderboard. It's been updated. Unfortunately, it's been updated wrong. We've got a Nyaruko bias in no, it's fine. It's been fixed. Nyaruko did not win the match. I know, it's very unfair of me to call out the people who are doing a wonderful job keeping everything together, all of the systems they've built behind the scenes to make sure that this competition runs as smoothly as it does. They make one mistake that doesn't even last 5 seconds, and here I am getting on their case about it, Thomas.
Yeah, exactly. You know, this is the on-air talent life. You know what I mean? We can complain about production the whole time. But we will be throwing over to the standings.
Yeah. Beautiful, correct, with Sox in 9th place. Now, I said I think that Nyaruko was going to be safe. Is in 11th place. Is less safe than I thought he might be. There is now a large gap back from Nyaruko to Matt, who I think that bottom 5 basically locked in. Incredibly difficult for any of them. Maybe impossible for any of them to make their way out of that bottom 5 in the next round. But definitely a little bit to play for there. Wizzy and Divino, Jaffa Padawan, all only a couple of points away from safety, from danger. Whatever way you want to look at it.
Yeah, and I think we didn't mention it earlier, but Leo in the previous round had won and got all match records. In the round. So big shout out to Leo for that performance. Nice to see some good performance from BITM admin team, because the bottom of the leaderboard is not looking great. But we will be going on now to our final round, like we have said, and it's going to be an all Welsh affair, so we're looking forward to that. But from the round we've just seen, like you mentioned, Nyaruko and Sox really at the bottom of the relegation zone, or at the top of the relegation zone here, and will still not be clear. Will need a good performance in their final round just to ensure, and basically they're fighting against each other, I think, for the most part, in this setup here. So will be interesting to see when we next see this leaderboard, which one of them was able to make it out of the sort of shark pit here, or the crab bucket,
the crab
whichever
bucket.
That metaphor.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. See, I learned.
I like the crab bucket metaphor. Yeah, he's a literary man, a man of the world, but a man that you're not going to be seeing for much longer, because nothing sinister. We're just going to head to a quick break. No interview after that match, as the players do get ready for the final round of BIPL Season 3. All still to play for plenty of the people in that leaderboard that you just saw. But for now, we'll say goodbye. We'll say see you soon. We'll say au revoir. And we'll head to break.
No more cooking. No more cooking.
No more
videos.
cooking.
I
Well,
only know the one meal.
there might be. Yeah, Thomas actually prepared a whole series.